And from the moment when the tree of the Bayan appeared until it disappeareth is the resurrection of the apostle of God, as divinely foretold in the Quran, the beginning of which was when 2 hours and 11 minutes had passed on the eve of the 5th of Jamal-Diol Aval 1260 AH, which is the year 1270 of the declaration of the mission of Muhammad. The stage of perfection of everything is reached when its resurrection occurreth. The perfection of the religion of Islam was consummated at the beginning of this revelation, and from the rise of this revelation until its setting, the fruits of the tree of Islam, whatever they are, will become apparent. This is 23 May, the anniversary of the message and declaration of the Bab. It is a blessed day and the dawn of the manifestation, for the appearance of the Bab was the early light of the true morn, whereas the manifestation of the blessed beauty, Baha'u'llah, was the shining forth of the sun. Therefore it is a blessed day, the inception of the heavenly bounty, the beginning of the divine effulgence. On this day, in 1844, the Bab was sent forth heralding and proclaiming the kingdom of God, announcing the glad tidings of the coming of Baha'u'llah, and withstanding the opposition of the whole Persian nation. Some of the Persians followed him. For this, they suffered the most grievous difficulties and severe ordeals. They withstood the tests with wonderful power and sublime heroism. Thousands were cast into prison, punished, persecuted, and martyred. Their homes were pillaged and destroyed, their possessions confiscated. They sacrificed their lives most willingly and remained unshaken in their faith to the very end. Those wonderful souls are the lamps of God, the stars of sanctity shining gloriously from the eternal horizon of the will of God. The Bab was subjected to bitter persecution in Shiraz, where he first proclaimed his mission and message. A period of famine afflicted that region, and the Bab journeyed to Isfahan. There the learned men rose against him in great hostility. He was arrested and sent to Tabriz. From thence he was transferred to Maku, and finally imprisoned in the strong castle of Sharik. Afterward he was martyred in Tabriz. This is merely an outline of the history of the Bab. He withstood all persecutions and bore every suffering and ordeal with unflinching strength. The more his enemies endeavored to extinguish that flame, the brighter it became. Day by day his cause spread and strengthened. During the time when he was among the people, he was constantly heralding the coming of Baha'u'llah. In all his books and tablets, he mentioned Baha'u'llah and announced the glad tidings of his manifestation, prophesying that he would reveal himself in the 9th year. He said that in the 9th year you will attain to all happiness. In the 9th year you will be blessed with the meeting of the promised one of whom I have spoken. He mentioned the blessed perfection Baha'u'llah by the title, Him Whom God Shall Make Manifest. In brief, that blessed soul offered his very life in the path of Baha'u'llah, even as it is recorded in historical writings and records. In his first book, The Best of Stories, he says, O remnant of God, I am wholly sacrificed to thee. I am content with curses in thy path. I crave naught but to be slain in thy love. And God the Supreme sufficeth as an eternal protection. Consider how the Bab endured difficulties and tribulations, how he gave his life in the cause of God, how he was attracted to the love of the blessed beauty Baha'u'llah, and how he announced the glad tidings of his manifestation. We must follow his heavenly example. We must be self-sacrificing and aglow with the fire of the love of God. We must partake of the bounty and grace of the Lord, for the Bab has admonished us to arise in service to the cause of God, to be absolutely severed from all else save God during the day of the blessed perfection, Baha'u'llah, to be completely attracted by the love of Baha'u'llah, to love all humanity for his sake, to be lenient and merciful to all for him, and to upbuild the oneness of the world of humanity. Therefore, this day, 23 May, is the anniversary of a blessed event. All praise be to God, who hath through the power of truth sent down this book unto his servant, that it may serve as a shining light for all mankind. Verily this is none other than the sovereign truth. It is the path which God hath laid out for all that are in heaven and on earth. Let him then who will take for himself the right path unto his Lord. Verily this is the true faith of God, and sufficient witness are God and such as are endowed with the knowledge of the book. This is indeed the eternal truth, which God the Ancient of Days hath revealed unto his omnipotent word, he who hath been raised up from the midst of the burning bush. This is the mystery which hath been hidden from all that are in heaven and on earth, and in this wondrous revelation it hath, in very truth, been set forth in the mother book by the hand of God the Exalted. Ages rolled away until they attained their consummation in this, the Lord of days, the day whereon the day star of the Bayan manifested itself above the horizon of mercy, the day in which the beauty of the All-Glorious shone forth in the exalted person of Ali Muhammad the Bab. No sooner did he reveal himself than all the people rose up against him. By some he was denounced as one that hath uttered slanders against God the Almighty, the Ancient of Days. Others regarded him as a man smitten with madness, an allegation which I myself have heard from the lips of one of the divines. Still others disputed his claim to be the mouthpiece of God, and stigmatized him as one who had stolen and used as his the words of the Almighty, who had perverted their meaning and mingled them with his own. The eye of grandeur weepeth sore for the things which their mouths have uttered, while they continue to rejoice upon their seats. God, he said, is my witness, O people. I am come to you with a revelation from the Lord your God, the Lord of your fathers of old. Look not, O people, at the things ye possess. Look rather at the things God hath sent down unto you. This surely will be better for you than the whole of creation, could ye but perceive it. Repeat the gaze, O people, and consider the testimony of God and his proof which are in your possession, and compare them unto the revelation sent down unto you in this day, that the truth, the infallible truth, may be indubitably manifested unto you. Follow not, O people, the steps of the evil one. Follow ye the faith of the All-Merciful, and be ye of them that truly believe. What would it profit man if he were to fail to recognize the revelation of God? Nothing whatever. To this mine own self, the omnipotent, the omniscient, the all-wise, will testify. The more he exhorted them, the fiercer grew their enmity, till at last they put him to death with shameful cruelty. The curse of God be upon the oppressors. A few believed in him, few of our servants are the thankful. These he admonished in all his tablets, nay, in every passage of his wondrous writings, not to give themselves up in the day of the promised revelation to anything whatever, be it in the heaven or in the earth. O people, he said, I have revealed myself for his manifestation, and have caused my book, the Bayan, to descend upon you for no other purpose except to establish the truth of his cause. Fear ye God, and contend not with him, as the people of the Quran have contended with me. At whatever time ye hear of him, hasten ye towards him, and cleave ye to whatsoever he may reveal unto you. Naught else besides him can ever profit you. No, not though ye produce from first to last the testimonies of all those who were before you. All praise be to the one true God, exalted be his glory, inasmuch as he hath, through the pen of the Most High, unlocked the doors of men's hearts. Every verse which this pen hath revealed is a bright and shining portal that discloseth the glories of a saintly and pious life, of pure and stainless deeds. The summons and the message which we gave were never intended to reach or to benefit one land or one people only. Mankind in its entirety must firmly adhere to whatsoever hath been revealed and vouchsafed unto it. Then, and only then, will it attain unto true liberty. The whole earth is illumined with the resplendent glory of God's revelation. In the year 60, he who heralded the light of divine guidance, may all creation be a sacrifice unto him, arose to announce a fresh revelation of the divine Spirit, and was followed 20 years later by him through whose coming the world was made the recipient of this promised glory, this wondrous favor. Behold how the generality of mankind hath been endued with the capacity to hearken unto God's most exalted word, the word upon which must depend the gathering together and spiritual resurrection of all men. Magnify thou, O Lord my God, him who is the primal point, the divine mystery, the unseen essence, the dayspring of divinity and the manifestation of thy lordship, through whom all the knowledge of the past and all the knowledge of the future were made plain, through whom the pearls of thy hidden wisdom were uncovered, and the mystery of thy treasured name disclosed, whom thou hast appointed as the announcer of the one through whose name the letter B and the letter E have been joined and united, through whom thy majesty, thy sovereignty, and thy might were made known, through whom thy words have been sent down, and thy laws set forth with clearness, and thy signs spread abroad, and thy word established, through whom the hearts of thy chosen ones laid bare, and all that were in the heavens and all that were on the earth were gathered together, whom thou hast called Ali Muhammad in the kingdom of thy names, and the Spirit of spirits in the tablets of thine irrevocable decree, whom thou hast invested with thine own title, unto whose name all other names have, at thy bidding, and through the power of thy might, been made to return, and in whom thou hast caused all thine attributes and titles to attain their final consummation. To him also belong such names as lay hid within thy stainless tabernacles, in thine invisible world and thy sanctified cities. Magnify thou, moreover, such as have believed in him and in his signs, and have turned towards him, from among those that have acknowledged thy unity in his latter manifestation, a manifestation whereof he hath made mention in his tablets, and in his books, and in his scriptures, and in all the wondrous verses and gem-like utterances that have descended upon him. It is this same manifestation whose covenant thou hast bidden him establish ere he had established his own covenant. He it is whose praise the Bayan hath celebrated. In it his excellence hath been extolled, and his truth established, and his sovereignty proclaimed, and his cause perfected. Blessed is the man that hath turned unto him, and fulfilled the things he hath commanded. O thou who art the Lord of the worlds, and the desire of all them that have known thee. Praised be thou, O my God, inasmuch as thou hast aided us to recognize and love him. I therefore beseech thee by him and by them who are the daysprings of thy divinity, and the manifestations of thy lordship, and the treasuries of thy revelation, and the depositories of thine inspiration, to enable us to serve and obey him, and to empower us to become the helpers of his cause, and the dispersers of his adversaries. Powerful art thou to do all that pleaseth thee. No God is there beside thee, the Almighty, the All-Glorious, the one whose help is sought by all men. He is the ever-abiding, the most exalted, the most great. Lo, the tongue of glory hath called aloud, and the word of God hath cried out, proclaiming, The kingdom is God's, the Creator of the heavens, and the Lord of all names. And yet the people for the most part are heedless. The entire creation resoundeth with the melodies of the All-Merciful. The realms of sanctity are redolent with the fragrance of his raiment. And the most great name hath shed the splendor of his glory upon all who dwell on earth, and yet the people are wrapped in a palpable veil. O pen of glory, intone the anthems of grandeur, for we have inhaled the fragrance of reunion at the approach of that day whereon the kingdom of names was adorned with the ornament of our name, the exalted, the Most High. No sooner was this day mentioned before the throne than the maids of heaven chanted a wondrous melody. The nightingale pealed out its heavenly song, and the All-Merciful gave voice to that which enraptured the souls of the messengers of God, his chosen ones, and those who enjoy near access to him. This is the eve of that day, from whose horizon the ancient morn hath dawned forth with the splendor of the light beaming from the effulgent horizon. Say, this is the day whereon God established the covenant concerning him who is the voice of truth, by sending forth the one who imparted unto humankind the glad tidings of this great announcement. This is the day whereon the most great sign appeared, and proclaimed this mighty name, captivating thereby all created things with the reviving breezes of the verses of God. Happy the one that hath recognized his Lord, and is numbered with them that have attained his presence. Say, he verily is the most perfect balance established amongst the nations, through whom the measures of all things are made manifest by him who is the all-knowing, the all-wise. He it is who hath intoxicated every understanding heart with the wine of his utterance, and who hath torn asunder the veils through the power of my name that overshadoweth the worlds. He verily hath ordained the Bayan to be a leaf in this garden, and adorned it with the mention of this incomparable remembrance. He hath admonished all men not to withhold themselves from the dayspring of ancient glory, nor to cling at the time of his manifestation to such tales and traditions as are current amongst them. Thus hath it been decreed in accordance with that which he hath revealed, and unto this beareth witness he who speaketh the truth. No God is there beside me, the Almighty, the most generous. They that have turned away from the latter manifestation have indeed failed to recognize the former. Thus hath it been ordained by the author of all causes in this mighty adornment. Say, he verily announced unto you this root, wherefore they that are held back by reason of a mere branch are in truth accounted among the dead. Alas, the people are clinging to the branch and have turned away from God, the King, the glorious, the all-praised. He conditioned all that he hath revealed upon mine acceptance, and made every matter contingent upon this manifest and resistless cause. But for me he would not have uttered a single word, nor would he have manifested himself before all who are in heaven and on earth. How often did he lament my banishment, my captivity, and my tribulations? That which was sent down in the Bayan beareth witness unto this, could ye but perceive it. Powerful indeed is the one who, through the might of God, hath become severed from all else but him, and powerless the one who hath turned away from him after he hath appeared with manifest sovereignty. O peoples of the earth, make mention of God on this day whereon the Spirit hath spoken, and the realities of those who were created by the word of God, the mighty, the exalted, have ascended unto him. It behooveth every one in this day to rejoice with exceeding gladness, to clothe himself in his finest attire, to celebrate the praise of his Lord, and to give thanks unto him for this most great favor. Blessed are they that have apprehended the purpose of God, and will betide the heedless. Having revealed this tablet on this night, we desire to send it unto thee as a token of our grace, that thou mayest be of those who are grateful. After thou hast received it, recite it in the presence of the loved ones of God, that they may hearken unto that which the tongue of grandeur hath pronounced, and be of those who act in accordance with its counsels. Thus have we singled thee out, and adorned thee with that raiment wherewith we have adorned the pure in heart. Praise be to God, the Lord of the world.